Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, everyone. Can you hear me? Is this the approximate closest to my voice? You can all hear me? Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sean, I was just starting to get really comfortable then when you were talking. As he mentioned, I'm one of the organisers for Stories in the Park in Melbourne. I'm not particularly a director speaker, if you like, but I'm pretty weak-minded, so when they asked me, I couldn't help but say yes, because they're such sweet brothers, Talal and Ben and Sean. But thank you very much for having me. My name's Hisham Moustafa, I'm from Melbourne. Sean keeps going on about the cold. We've got a bit of rain in Melbourne at the moment, but it's not so cold. He made the impression to me that Sydney would be balmy, really hot, really warm, and I'm starting to feel a bit of a chill tonight. But alhamdulillah, you know, this is really such a beautiful setting. I love this setting, and when Sean and the brothers told me about it, and yes, I've never attended here, it's just such a great, simple concept. And so we've done it in Melbourne, and we're doing it again this year, inshallah. Starts in February and March. So if you do come to Melbourne, please drop us a line. I don't know how we're going to do that, but yeah, just drop us a line and come down and attend. But today is the first day of my holidays from work, and I'm feeling quite relaxed. So if I do start, you know, reclining, if you don't hear anything from me, it's just because I'm enjoying the beautiful atmosphere. Maybe poke Sean and get him to tell a joke, and that might get me back up again. But I think I've got you for maybe half an hour or so, and I wanted to run a couple of stories by, inshallah. So bear with me. One more thing. I think did Sean advertise this saying George Clooney and Brad Pitt will be here? Were you just pulling my leg to embarrass me, Sean, when I sit in this chair and say that? Well, sorry to disappoint, brothers, but if you do happen to, you know, if this doesn't do it for you, don't worry, it's a really beautiful night. Fall back, lay back, have a little nap, enjoy the atmosphere. That's what I might do. No, look, enjoy the night. The first story I suppose I want to talk about is, well, two people actually in the Islamic heritage. Two Sahaba. The first one is Nu'aym ibn Amr. I'm not sure if you've heard about him, but he's a bit of a joker. He was a Sahaba. He was one of the Ansar, so he was from the city of Medina, and he took the second pledge of Aqaba just before the Muslims started migrating from Mecca, where they were being persecuted, to Medina. Now this guy was quite a character. He used to go on some of the trading caravans with some of his companions. And one day, on one of these such caravans, a friend of his, Suwaybit, had in charge of him the logistics, all the food and everything like that, all the goods. And so Nu'aym went up to him and said, Suwaybit, can I get myself something to eat, please? And Suwaybit said, no, you can't. You can't do that. So Nu'aym said, come on, hand it over. I'm a bit hungry here. We've been walking for a while. Suwaybit said, no, that's it. Go away. So what did Nu'aym do? He started getting a little bit excited. And he said, if you know what I could do to you, just give me some food. No, you can't have any food. You can't have any food. Just give me some food. And he started to threaten the guy, started to call him names and you know, just give me some of the food. If you knew what I could do to you. And anyway, he didn't get anywhere. So he wandered off. He decided to go to the market. And he went to the nearby market, and there he saw a bunch of Bedouin who had come to the market. They looked like they wanted to buy some slaves. And so Nu'aym went up to them and he said, would you like to buy a strong, sturdy slave? I can give you a good deal on him. Really good deal. really strong. The only thing is, this guy's got a bit of an attitude, and he'll keep telling you that he's not actually a slave. And he'll tell you he's not a slave, he's a free man, and that he shouldn't be in this situation. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, just take him. Are you interested? They said, sure, give me a good deal, we'll take him. And so Nu'ayman took this group back to where Suwaybid was, pointed at him and said, there you go, there he is. Take him away. And so they did. They grabbed him by the neck and started wrestling Suwaybid away. And he started screaming. He said, what are you doing? I'm a free man. You can't take me away like this. And they dragged him away. All of a sudden, the other companions from that trading caravan noticed what was going on, and they went to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and said, Abu Bakr, you've got to come and intervene. Nu'ayman's just done this. He's basically sold Suwaybid as a slave, and they're taking him away. There's nothing we can do. And so Abu Bakr stepped in and said to the Bedouin, look, this is a bit of a practical joke. We didn't do it intentionally. Nu'ayman's got a bit of he's a bit of a character. Here, we'll give you your money back. Please give them back to us. And they did. And they all had a laugh. Another story of the same character was when there was a blind man. A blind man in the mosque, and he was quite old, a little bit senile, and it looked like he was going to go to the bathroom right there in the masjid. And so the Sahaba saw that, the people at the time saw that in the mosque, and said, Nu'ayman, go take him away, take him to some place where he can actually do his business and not in public. So Nu'ayman went and grabbed went up to the old man and said, Uncle, let me take you somewhere where it's a bit more private. Uncle obliged. Oh, thank you very much, thank you. And what did Nu'ayman do? He took him probably, it seems like maybe around the corner, but it was still in public. And the old man ended up urinating in public. And people around there was a bit of a ruckus, bit of noise, and some people started laughing. And someone walked up to him, you know that awkward moment when someone's done something quite awkward, walked up to him and said, Uncle, you've actually urinated in public. And the old blind man just lost it, started throwing his cane around and said, who was that? Who took me over here and embarrassed me like that? Who was that? And they said, Nu'ayman ibn Amr. And he said, Wallahi, I'm going to find that guy, and when I do, I'm going to whack him so hard over the head, he won't know what hit him. And so a couple of months later, the man was in the area, in town, and who came along but Nu'ayman again. Nu'ayman saw this guy. He went up to him and he said, Uncle, are you looking for Nu'ayman? And the uncle goes, yes. How do you know? Yes, I am looking for that guy. And he said, I know where he is. Let me take you to him. So Nu'ayman grabbed the uncle, who thought this guy was going to take him to Nu'ayman so he could get his revenge back. What did he do? He took him over into the mosque where Uthman was praying. He was the caliph at the time. Uthman was praying. And Nu'ayman grabbed the blind man's hand and put it on the back of Uthman, who was in sujood at the time, and said, this is Nu'ayman. And the blind man lifted up his cane, his walking stick, and let go an almighty thwack against the back of the caliph's head in prayer. And Uthman finished his prayer, of course, and he said, he turned around, when he had finished, he said, what's going on? What in God's name is going on? Not to those words exactly, but that's what he said. And the blind man said, aren't you Nu'ayman? He said, no, I'm Amir al-Mu'mineen, the leader of the believers. I'm the leader of the Islamic state that's around you. I'm the head person of the Muslims. And the blind man said, well, who was that took me? And the people around him said, that was Nu'ayman. That was Nu'ayman. And they all started going crazy. Literally, they all, when the people around started finding out what had happened, and the blind man, they all went crazy and they started going after him. And Uthman radiallahu anhu said, don't worry about him. This is just his character. This is what the way he was like during the Prophet, and the Prophet tolerated him. The Prophet loved him. So let him go, let him go. There's a couple more stories about Nu'ayman, but it's not the main story that I want to tell tonight. And I do want to hand you over to Brother Muhammad at some stage. He will be talking about Jesus, Isa, alayhi salam. And it was funny because we were driving here from our motel, and as we were driving through Bankstown, we were one of those GPS type things in the car. I don't quite trust them 100%. I've heard some stories, but we started driving, and over to our right there was this massive congregation, and they were all, talking about Jesus and things like that. And I said, Muhammad, they might have taken your story, mate. I think you might have to change. So I don't know what was going on around the corner. Jesus seems to be the man on everyone's lips at the moment.